Before we keep going, don't forget our text is out. The link's in my bio. It's called Rooted in Power. You guys can go grab it whenever you want. It's there. It's waiting for you. Don't forget to grab 2 though. Again, we're putting these practices in motion. All right. Law number 7, the law of cause and effect. This is found in physics and in karma, which is a spiritual tradition. Sir Isaac Newton says that every action has an equal but opposite reaction. The law of cause and effect says you get out what you put in. If you give abundantly, abundance will come to you. There's a verse in the Bible that says, give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom, or something like that. Again, what you put out is what's going to come back to you. So again, I'm not asking you to purchase these books just for yourself. You're purchasing them to give out, and then ultimately you'll receive in the end. You're doing it to raise your vibration, of course. You're doing it to help yourself, yes, but you're also blessing somebody else's life. And if you bless somebody, what's going to come back? More blessings. Blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. So the more you give, the more you receive. The more you take, the more you lose. The cause and effect. If you give hate, you'll receive hate. If you give love, guess what you're going to get back? Some more love. And by the way, y'all give me a lot of love, so it makes me feel freaking amazing. Just want to throw that out there. Next, it's my favorite, the law of compensation. It's not my favorite. It's one of my favorites, but I love all these laws. This is really a principle found in finance, that book, Think and Grow Rich, and spiritual practices as well. The universe rewards aligned efforts, often in really unexpected ways. So if you give without expectation, if you give, then you will receive. Many times, 2 and 3 and 4-fold of what you originally thought you were going to receive in different ways. You may pay for somebody's lunch and then somebody will pay for your dinner, maybe. But you may pay for somebody's lunch and then somebody might give you a free vacation, right? So the universe really does repay you because of the law of compensation. Number 9, the law of relativity. Einstein talked about this a lot. You find this a lot in like emotional intelligence in different perspective type sciences. And this is, everything is neutral, neither good nor bad. It only has meaning when you give it meaning. And you only can give it meaning based off of what you believe and what you can see. So a few classes ago, or when we first started this, I was like, yeah, DEI, getting rid of DEI is a terrible thing. But it might not be. It just all depends on how you look at it. It might mean that we have to tear down a system to rebuild a new one. And that might not feel good in the beginning. But the law of relativity says everything is neutral until you give it meaning. One way you can practice this in your everyday life is by asking yourself, how can I see this differently? Or how can I celebrate what I want to see more of, even when it feels like this is something terrible? All right, law number 10, the law of polarity or duality. This is the law of opposites. So everything has an opposite. If there's a left, there has to be a right. If there's an up, there has to be a down. If there's a dark, there has to be a light. If there's a back, there has to be a forth. And that doesn't mean that one is better than the other, or one is good or bad. It just means that there's an opposite to everything. So if something happens that's negative, there has to be a positive that happens as a result. And likewise, if there's something that's positive, there has to be a negative that happens as a result. You often find this duality symbol in Asian or Eastern terminologies. This looks like yin and yang, masculine and feminine. Most, actually, pretty much all religions, at least the ones that I've learned about, practice this. And they typically look at it in ways of good and evil. Well, not all of them, some of them. Number 11, this is the law of rhythm. And this basically means that life or energy and everything moves in cycles. Again, nothing stays the same. And it's an offering for us to trust the process and to trust that this is just the natural cycle of things. If you look at it, everything moves in cycles. The years move in cycles. The day moves in cycles. We have different cycles that we go through. Just the way the universe works. There's an ancient saying that says, "This too shall pass." And essentially that just means that whenever something happens, you can say, this too shall pass. Something great happens, this too shall pass. Something not so great happens, this too shall pass. And it'll cycle itself back around. Number 12, the law of gender. Now listen, this is not about the gender that everybody is talking about. If you are a boy, a girl, a trans, it's not about that at all. But it is essentially saying that everything has both masculine and feminine parts. Again, it's not about what people describe it to be today. Masculine in this context means action, and feminine means intuition. So this is really about the exterior, the action that takes place, and the reflection, the internal intention, intuition, reflection. You can never have all or nothing. It always has to be both. And so this is where you see inside of that yin and yang circle that there's a little bit of black in the white and there's a little bit of white in the black, because you can't have all of one thing and none of another. So I know that we just kind of went over them as an overview. You can always go back and listen to these 12 universal principles, or you can just think about the one that really resonates most with you and where you currently are, and maybe deepen into it a little bit more. On our next class, I'm going to touch a little bit more on the law of attraction and really how to make it work in our lives. And then we'll tap into the different realms. Let me tell y'all now, I'm not going too deep on how to access these realms. Just know you can access them, and how we're going to access them is going to be in another class. For all of you that want some books to read, you can read The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks or Abraham Hicks. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, or Becoming Superhuman by Dr. Joe Dispenza. The Law of Attraction book and the Power of the Subconscious Mind book are really easy to read. Becoming Superhuman has some deeper concepts that kind of go a little bit more scientific and deeper. So if that's your thing, feel free to pick that one up. Dr. Joe Dispenza has lots of classes on YouTube as well. But also, don't forget to get our text, because it's there. All right, again, I don't know if I'm going to post the notes today. I just got to see if I actually took notes for this. And if not, then I have to go back through and type them up. And yeah, I'm probably going to be offline for a while because I'm not feeling the greatest. Actually, I'm going to celebrate what I want to see more of. And what I want to see more of is some rest. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Don't forget, if you write it, you read it, you hear it, you say it, you will also learn it.